So, hello everyone, a very good evening to all of you. So, as you know that we are continuing the series of commercial mathematics. So, today's topic we will be discussing about simple interest, right? So, let's just go through what all topics we have discussed and what are all are left. So, we are done with percentages, CP and SP, profit loss, profit percent, loss percent, discount and discount percent, right? So the last topic which we have studied was cumulative discounts. So I have explained one discount or two cumulative discounts of like half of it. So we have taken different examples, right? So today we would be covering the topic of simple interest, right? So whenever you read, the newspapers or the economy section, basically, you see that interest hiked to 4%, interest hiked to 5.5%. So what exactly is this interest and how is it calculated and what all types of interest are they? So let us start into the topic, okay? Let us start the topic. So, okay. All right, so there is Daniel again. Let's say him hi and we'll see what he thinks, what he wants. So I've earned a profit of 50,000. What do you think is a good idea to save it? So what do you think is a good idea to save you money? If suppose I give you, like, there are some people who saves money, or, your parents give you some pocket money, grandparents, uncle, aunts, whatever it is, like they give you some pocket money. So how do you save it? How do you save that money? So when I was a child, I usually put it in a piggy bank, and then after so much of saving, I used to buy something with that, right? So, but when you grow up, there is this huge amount. How do you save it? You can't just put it into your home and ask it to multiply, right? It will never do like that. So the best thing and the best possible way to save your money is to put deposit in the banks, right? So deposit in the banks. So now hopefully Daniel has also decided to deposit in the banks. Let's see. Yes, of course, he's running towards the bank to inquire what is the procedure to deposit the money and what all documents will be required. Of course, right, when you go to a bank and you want to deposit some money, they won't be like, we'll get it deposited. No, there won't be like that. There are some documents you need to submit, right? So is going to inquire it. So let us see what it is. Okay, so now Daniel has a doubt. Could you explain me what is interest and how it is calculated? But where did he hear this term interest? From the bank, right? So the bank would have told, I am offering you 5% per annum. Or another bank would have told him, okay, I'm offering you 4.25% per annum. Right? So what exactly are these? What is 5%? What is 4.25%? And how is it linked to the interest? And how is it linked to the deposit money? Let us see. So first, let us explain Daniel and make him understand what exactly is interest. Okay? Interest is the price you pay to borrow money or the cost you charge to lend money. So first, let us see this statement. You will automatically understand the next segment of this statement. Okay? Interest is the price you pay to borrow the money. So let us suppose you are this. There is a person A. There is a person B. Okay? So this person A is asking to his friend person B that, hey, I'm little out of cash. Could you please help me with rupees 5,000? So B says, of course I'll pay you. I'll give you rupees 5,000, but you have to pay me the interest on it. What does he say? I will pay you 5,000. I will give you 5,000. I will give you 5,000, but you have to pay an interest on it. You have to pay an interest. So the person A asks, what exactly is interest and how much should I pay? So the person B says, okay, since I'm giving you 5,000 each, 5,000. So for every month, you have to pay me extra 50 rupees. Extra 50 rupees. So suppose let us say that person A has borrowed money on June 1st, which is today, right? So B says that, so if you want to repay me that 5,000 rupees on July 1st, you have to pay me 5,000 plus rupees 50. So you have to pay me 5,050. Why? Because he told that for every 1 month, the interest is 50 rupees, right? So this is what he meant. And a person A says, Arey no, it's impossible. I can't give on July 1st. I can promise you to give the money of 5,000 on August 1st. Okay. So he'll say, I'll surely pay you on August 1st. So now what does B do? He calculates how many months is it. June to July is 1 month, July to August is 1 month. So 2 months, right? So if for 1 month the interest is 50 rupees, for 1 month the interest is rupees 50. What will be the interest for 2 months? It will be 100, right? So for 2 months, it will be rupees 100. So when A is returning the money which he has borrowed, he is paying some price which is extra. What is that extra price he is paying? He is paying rupees 100. This is nothing but interest on the money he has borrowed. Okay. So this 100 is nothing but the interest. That is, you are paying something to borrow it. That is, you are paying extra. So for 3 months, it would be 150 rupees. For 4 months, it will be 200 rupees. So how much ever you delay, the amount will be getting increased. Right? So this is everything about interest. Now that we have understood about the first statement, the second segment of the statement is self-explanatory, right? Suppose now you just put yourself in the place of B and your friend in place of A. And the same thing goes. You are lending money. That is, you're giving money. So you're charging some, like, give me this much money in return while repaying it, right? So this is everything you have to know about interest. And this is a concept of simple interest. What is it? Simple interest. And that is what we are going to see today. Everything about simple interest. So types of interest. So whenever you go to the bank or whenever you talk to a money lender, he tells you 3 types of interest. Simple interest, compound interest and accrued interest. So the third term is not much heard about and it is not not of a like textbook term you read. So we would be considering simple interest and compound interest. But for today's session, we will be dealing with simple interest, and tomorrow I'll explain a little about accrued interest and I'll jump to compound interest. Okay? Right. So the simple interest is which I have explained it. That is, every month the same amount will be added. Right? Every month the same amount will be added. So suppose for 1 month if it is rupees 100, for next month also it will be rupees 100, for another month also it will be rupees 100 interest. So it goes on, right? But don't you think it is difficult to calculate by taking 100, 100, 100 and so on? Since it is 100, it's easy to multiply. But what if the interest is 42 rupees and you have to calculate for something and you don't know the principal? It would be a very tedious task, correct? And that's how we have a formula. So we have a formula to calculate the simple interest. What is simple interest again? Simple interest is equals to principal into time period into a rate by 100. So this is the formula we use to calculate the simple interest. But what is principal? What is time period? What is rate of interest? Let us deal one by one. So principal. Principal is nothing but the money you first borrow or the money you first lend or the money you deposit. Okay, the initial money borrowed or given or deposited And what is the time? Time simple, right? It's not a complex term for me to explain, but time is nothing but 2 years or 6 months or maybe 9 months, 5 years, 10 years. It's nothing but time period. And always make sure that you convert this time into years. I mean, the units should be years. Okay? Suppose if they have given that for 6 months, so what do you take? It's a half year. Correct? So make sure the term of this is in years. The units are in years. Next, rate. What is this rate? So generally when you go to a bank, preferably they choose to tell you the interest in terms of rate rather than in the amount or money. They say that you have to pay 3% per annum. So what is it 3% and what on it is calculated? So this is nothing but this rate of interest. 3%, 4%, 10%, 12%, 14% or 1.10%. This is nothing but a rate of interest, or you can simply call it interest rate, right? So we are familiar with the terms now, and we have also learned what is the formula. Now we shall see the application part, right? So this is what. So in short, or in abbreviational form, we can say that SI is equals to PTR by 100. P is principal, T is time period, rate of R is rate of interest, right? Next, amount. What is this amount? So whenever you're using this formula, you're only calculating the interest. But what is the total amount he has to pay at the end? He has to pay the money he has borrowed, that is the principal, plus interest, right? If that is what we have done here. See, he's paying the amount he has borrowed, and also he's paying this extra amount, that is interest. So the total amount he is paying is principal plus interest. So that is what it is. So amount is equal to principal plus interest. So these are the formula which are required to calculate the simple interest. So that's it. We will see a small application on it. Daniel has deposited his profit of rupees 50,000 in XYZ bank, some bank. What is the amount he receives after 5 years if the rate of interest offered by the bank is 8% per annum? So, very good for Daniel. He has found a bank. He went, he gave the documents, he filled the application forms, he opened a bank account, and finally, bank told that 8% per annum is the interest rate, and he told, I will be depositing this money for 5 years. So now, what is the money he has decided to deposit? Rupees 50,000. So this will be our principal. So principal is equals to rupees 50,000. And what is the time? 5 years. So time is equals to 5 years. That is P, this is P, this is T. Next, what is the rate of interest offered by the bank? 8%. So rate of interest is equals to 8%. Right? Now what do we have to calculate? We have to calculate the amount here. And what is the formula to calculate the amount? Amount is equals to principal plus interest, or simple interest, or interest, right? In this case, since we are talking about simple interest, I have told it is simple interest, but generally we say that amount is nothing but principal plus interest, right? Now, so let us substitute. To find the amount, we first need to calculate what the interest is, right? So interest is equals to PTR by 100. Now that we know what are the values, let us substitute. What is P? 50,000 into what is time? 5 years. Rate of interest 8 by 100. Okay, so how much is it? 5 times 8 is 40. 40 into 5 is 200. 200, 0, 0. Okay. So 5 is 40, 45 is 200, right? 0, 0. So rupees, I'm sorry. Yeah. So rupees 20,000 is the interest. Now that we know what is interest, can we calculate what is the amount? Of course we can calculate. Why? Because amount is nothing but principal plus interest. So amount is equals to principal is this much, 50,000, plus what is interest? 20,000. So in total it is 70,000. Right? So this is how you apply the concept of simple interest, formula of simple interest to find interest and then find the amount, right? It's a two-step procedure. Right. Let us go to the next. Okay, there's a problem. Nalini borrowed rupees 550 from a friend at 8% per annum. She returned the amount after 6 months. How much did she pay? So, at the beginning, what have I mentioned about time period? It should be in years, right? So, now when it is given 6 months, we have to convert it into years. So, we know that 1 year equals to 12 months and 1 month is equals to 1 by 12th year. If 1 month is 1 by 12th year, what will be 6 months? 6 into 1 by 12, that is half year, correct? So time period is done. Now let us write one by one what is given in the question. So it is given Nalini borrowed this amount, that is the initial money she has borrowed. So principal is equals to rupees 550, right? Next. At what rate? At 8% per annum. Right. She returned the amount after 6 months. So, time is equal to half year. So, I am just writing half year. Correct. Now, how much did she pay? So, we have to calculate the total amount. We know that amount is equals to principal plus interest. First, let us calculate the interest here. Interest is equals to PTR by 100. That is principal into time into rate by 100. So what is P here? 550. What is time period? 1 by 2. What is a rate? 8 by 100. So 2 times 4, 0, 0. 5 times 2, 5 times 11, 2 times 1, 2 times 2. So 11 times 2, that is rupees 22. So the interest of this amount for this many months and that rate interest is rupees 22. So what will be the amount she pays after 6 months? Amount is nothing but principal plus interest. So what is the principal here? 550. And what is the interest? Interest is equals to 22. So what will be this? 275. So rupees 572 is nothing but the amount she pays after 6 months. Okay. So the only thing you have to remember while solving the simple interest problems is make sure you convert this into the units of years. Okay. The units should be years and check twice, thrice if they have given amount here or the principal here. Because sometimes when we are solving the questions, generally like from a textbook or Olympiad problems, generally they trick you. They trick that the amount she paid is 570 to calculate the principal. So we will be in a super hurry, right? We won't read the question completely. So we will think a principal is that and we'll calculate, and that it goes wrong, right? So the end of discussion point is you have to read the question clearly and make sure what is asked in the question. Is it amount? Is it interest? Is it principal? Is it rate? Or is it time? Correct? So even when they're asking you the time also, make sure you convert it into years and then put your answer. Okay? So that's it about simple interest. Tomorrow we will learn about compound interest and also a little bit about accrued interest. So a compound interest is a little difficult. So it's not like difficult, but then you have to understand the concept very clearly. So let's meet tomorrow at 5 p.m. to discuss about compound interest. So 6 sessions are done. So simple interest is also done. So tomorrow we will be seeing and going through the topic of compound interest and also solve 1 or 2 application problems on it. Okay. So bye everyone. Take care.